Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Williams, and today I'm going to show you some of the basic features of Google and Google Docs that we went over in our last computer class. So by now you got your Google account information. So remember, when you go to sign in, you want to go to the top, look for the blue sign in, enter your email. This is where you put your username. Remember to always check your username as you're typing it in. Then when you go to next, you're going to ask to put your password in. Always check though that this is your username, because sometimes it goes to the next step even if you put in a different username. For example, some kids accidentally had Gmail at the end and it still worked, but then when they went to put their password in, it didn't log them in. Also, some of you have a number before the @ symbol, so if you forget that, Google won't know, and it will still bring you to the next step thinking you're someone else trying to log in. So just always check before you put your password in. Okay, now I know I'm signed in because in the top corner I see my letter A for my initial, and when I hover over it, it says Google account, and there's my first and last name. Now, to get started, you go to the top and you look for the waffle or the 9 dots. There you'll have all your Google apps. We have the most common ones that we're going to use this year. We have Drive to store all our work. We have Docs, Slides, Sheets. And if you hit more, you have even more possibilities there. I'm going to go to my Drive. So remember, that's the triangle with the green, yellow, and blue. Think of your Drive as your backpack. So it has all your stuff. So in your backpack, you have, a bunch of files, you have a bunch of maybe pictures, you have documents. And it's really smart though in your backpack, since you are going to be dumping a lot of stuff in here, to organize your things into folders. So you can see I've already done that, and I've made a bunch of folders. And in these folders, I have individual lessons or documents and files that I want to organize into categories. So today what I would like you to do is go up to the top where it says New, and that is where you can make your folder. So the first option actually says Folder, and here you will title your folder. So for example, you might want to make one for all the work we're going to do in computer class. So you might want to name it Mrs. Williams or Computers, whatever you like. And then you hit Create. So here is the folder I just made for Mrs. Williams class. And then it's very simple. If you have anything that you've already started with me, all you have to do is click and drag it, drop it right there, and that'll be now in the folder. So a good idea to organize your stuff. I'll show you again. You go up to New, you go to Folder, and then you name it. You also might want to make a folder for the work that you did last year. So if you're a 5th grader now, but you have a lot of your projects from 4th grade, I would make a folder called 4th grade so that you can drag your projects from last year into that folder, so you know that's from last year and not this year. So that is making folders. Today what I would like you to do is to go to New and create a new Google Doc. So I'm just going to show you a couple tips about getting started with Google Docs. So really basic, just 3 things I would like to show you today. One, not just for Google Docs, but for anything that you start, you always need to name it, or else it's going to stay as untitled document. So up here, I don't want it to say untitled. If this is about, say, famous explorers, that way when Google is auto-saving it and you go to your Google Drive later, it'll have a name. So here's my motto, digital storytelling. There's my famous explorer, and you can see it has a name here. Otherwise, you're just going to have untitled documents, and you're not going to know which is which if you have a lot, especially. So right now, this is my famous explorer document, and a lot of you were having questions about inserting pictures. So we're going to go over just some basic things about that. So here you can look for the insert button up here. And then the first option is going to say image. And here's your choices to upload images. Now in school on the Chromebooks, we're always going to go to the far right for search. These are just other options, not ones that we're going to use quite yet. So just hit search all the way on the right, and that'll automatically give you a Google search bar. And since, this is your Google account, you're automatically synced into Google Images. So it makes it really easy to find a picture. So Famous Explorer, say I'm looking for Marco Polo. And here it just pulled up a bunch of pictures. Another cool feature of inserting images from your Google is that you could also filter by colors. So say I wanted my picture orange. It'll just filter pictures with that color, brown. Okay, so for this particular case, I wouldn't be using that filter, but say you were doing a project, you're looking for a picture of a dog, but you wanted a brown dog. That feature would just give you pictures of brown dogs. So that is helpful in certain situations. But in this case, I just want a good picture of Marco Polo. So I'm going to leave it on all colors, which is right here, the first one. It should automatically be set to that. So I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take this one. When you select it, it's going to have a blue outline and has the little check mark. It won't go in though until you hit the blue select button on the bottom. Okay, and there it is. Now, in order to resize this or move this, a lot of you have questions about this. So what you want to do is click on the picture, and then you have all those dots around the outside. In order to change the size, you have to grab a corner. So you want to see that diagonal arrow. If you could see that cursor changing, you don't want to grab any of these. So you want to take the corner, be this corner, it doesn't matter. Just get to grab the corner and click and drag towards the center and then let go. And you do the same to make it bigger, click and pull out. So click, pull it towards the middle and let go to make it smaller. If you want to move the whole picture over, you want to actually change down here. So if I want to move this picture to the right, you can see I'm having trouble with that. Usually you might just click and pick it up. In this case, in your Google Docs, you want to change the feature on the bottom to wrap text. Now, when you click on wrap text, you can now move the photo. And that will be helpful, especially if you want to put a title underneath or you want to center this. You really want to make sure you change that. So it's on wrap text, and I resized it. Okay, so that's it for now. Give those tricks a little try, and hopefully you'll be able to start your first document real soon.